At the age of 18, Carl Sagan looked like a teenager. But it doesn't take long in an old high school yearbook to find teenagers who look surprisingly old. These people are all in their 20s, but so are these people. This is Elizabeth Taylor when she was just 17. And here are some high school students from the 70s. Did people used to look older?
Here's my pre-take. Camera quality, better lighting, skincare products, and overall hygiene.
Brandon McCarthy asked on Twitter, and evidence poured in. People shared photos of their parents in their early 20s, their dad at 21, their mom at 18 or 19, their dad at 45. One user shared their husband at 27 and what his father looked like at 23. And there's pretty much an entire subculture around how old footballers looked decades ago. 24, 31, 33.
What?
29.
Bro, okay, no shot. Okay, no shot, dude.
24, 31.
31? Bro, my man looks 56.
33.
That's not my airline, man. I'm not a fucking Benson.
It's not uncommon to think that there's something more grown up about the way people used to be. To look back and think that people seemed older at a younger age than they do now. Let's call it retrospective aging. It doesn't happen to everyone. People do not and never have aged similarly, and there's even the opposite observation that kids these days grow up too fast. But it's a popular question and subject of numerous memes. So, is it real? Or is it an illusion fueled by cherry-picked examples that feeds rosy nostalgia for a time when people were tough and didn't have it as easy as you kids have it now? Well, as it turns out, both. Humans today really are aging more slowly than their historic counterparts. Changes in lifestyle, nutrition, smoking habits, healthcare, early life conditions, and skincare, particularly the use of sunscreen, are a huge part of it. By comparing measures of metabolic, cardiovascular, inflammatory, kidney, liver, and lung function across time...
Wait, sample. So...
cardiovascular, inflammatory... By comparing measures of metabolic, cardiovascular, inflammatory, kidney, liver, and lung function across time, researchers at Yale and USC have found that we are, in fact, staying younger for longer than we used to. So does that mean that 60 is the new 50? Almost. Their results suggest that between the early 90s and the late 2000s, 60 became the new 56. 40 became the new 37 and a half, and 20 became the new 19. Oh, also, during the last century, dentistry and orthodontics have played a huge cosmetic role in the kinds of faces we see in parts of the world. But, interestingly, when faces in magazines are measured from the 1930s to today, the only significant change has been that across all ethnicities, the media is now exposing us to larger lips. Also, retroactive aging can occur over short time spans. When I was a freshman, the seniors in my high school seemed so old to me.
Real.
But by the time I was a senior myself, I looked in the mirror and at my peers and I was like, we're them now, but we don't seem as old as...
Okay, Michael. My man's look 43, about to buy his new house.
Looked in the mirror and at my peers and I was like, we're them now, but we don't seem as old as they did. What's going on isn't just about bodies. First of all, the seniors I looked at when I was a freshman truly were older than me at that time. They graduated and went away, and later, when I was a senior, I saw myself as I was. But in my mind's eye, I saw the earlier seniors as they appeared to me when I was younger. Retrospective aging seems to also be about perspective.
True.
Let's go back to this tweet. This is George Wendt playing Norm on the TV show Cheers. Now, when Cheers premiered, Went was indeed 34, but I looked it up, and this image is actually from episode 24 of season 5 when Went was 38, so we're not comparing apples to apples here. However, this is an image of George Wendt at 34, and Ashley Fairbanks made some alterations and a good point. However, here's the rub. These alterations don't make Wendt look more like a 34-year-old. They make him look more like a 34-year-old today. Similarly, giving the Golden Girls modern-day hairstyles and makeup drops their apparent age a lot. Superficial styles and mannerisms can often make not just a big difference, but all the difference, which supports the hypothesis that retrospective aging is often an illusion. Modes of self-expression are always changing.
Yeah.
Clothing, hairstyles, accessories, makeup, mannerisms, language, body language. Now, modes can come back, but never exactly. The context is always a little bit different. And from what's available or acceptable at any one time, we each draw ways of appearing or being in the world. And even if you don't care about how you look or think about how you act, what options you even have are dictated by what's currently popular or normal or being pushed on people like you. Few of us stay at the stream, drawing what's new all our lives. For various reasons, we often wander away with our catch. Perhaps it's because we settle into an identity we're comfortable with, or fear the taboo of not dressing our age, or simply run out of...
I rarely get woke, but that was actually a really good point. When you choose your clothing, you can only choose by the options that you're given, which is
time to care. But when we're gone, the stream keeps changing. And we get older and continue to use the mannerisms and styles we grabbed a while back. Eventually, to whatever those styles initially evoked, a new connotation is added. Old person. Not because the look or behavior is intrinsically for the elderly, but because those who use it, us, became old ourselves. If you want to look older, what do? Well, you can dress the way older people dress. And the thing is, that's often how they used to dress too. We think people looked older in the past because they look the way old people
suits.
Do today. Dale Irby, a gym teacher at Prestonwood Elementary School in Dallas, Texas, posed for his first yearbook photo in 1973. The following year, he accidentally wore the same outfit again.
Okay.
He says he was embarrassed at first, but his wife Kathy challenged him to do it again. So he did. And he never stopped. What he gave us is a great, exaggerated example of how what once connoted youth comes to be associated with old age. The people we keep seeing.
Oh man, guys, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, dude. Maybe looking at this, if this were me, this would make me almost kind of sad a little bit. Like just I don't know, there's something sad to it. No?
Style on get older and older themselves until we think of the style itself as being for old people. Retrospective aging then is double-pronged, both real and illusory. People in the past really did age faster than us because of differences in nutrition and lifestyle and medicine, but much, if not most, can be chalked up to the fact that we think people like this are dressed like old people. But that's an anachronism. They're dressed like old people from the future, the old people they would become. Has anyone ever dressed like a young person from the future? Well, it happened in 1941 at the reopening.
Well, who's joining me?
A young person from the future? Well, it happened in
I thought I was poking on Discord, I'm not kidding.
1941 at the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in Canada. A crowd came out to celebrate and photos were taken.
It literally is.
In 2010, the photos were digitized and placed online. That's when this guy was noticed.
It's poke on FL
traveling
Studio.
hipster.
I had to
why
double
a
check.
time
I
traveler
feel so
wouldn't
dumb.
bother to blend in, and why, with all of history to visit, he chose the reopening of a bridge in the 40s, no one knew. The photo was confirmed to be undoctored, and researchers put forward the idea that this man was not, in fact, a time traveler, that his shirt wasn't an ironic screen print, but simply bore the logo of the Montreal Maroons, a nearby hockey team at the time. They said his sunglasses and knit sweater were not unusual for the 40s, nor was his portable camera. The only thing that was unusual about him was how casual his attire was. And they're probably right. But this all raises the exciting possibility that someone out there right now, possibly even you, is unknowingly dressed like people in the future will. And your appearance in photos will someday freak them out. You know, it might be fun to start dressing even more casually or in some other odd way on the off chance that you happen to nail it and years from now you are worshipped as a time traveler. Oh, that reminds me of today's sponsor. Hi, I'm Michael Stevens. Would you like to look like you're from the future? Well, every season, those who subscribe to Vsauce's Curiosity Box receive a box full of delicious brain food that we have made that very few people have.
Okay, next merch drop chat is gonna be it's gonna be just stuff that I predict will be the future.
Yet. This year, our summer box contains our Moiré illusion cards, a bunch of other things I won't spoil,
Moncasa.
and this, a Pythagorean cup. Supposedly invented by Pythagoras himself, it is widely considered the earliest known practical joke. It works just like a normal cup. Fill it up, carry it around, take a drink. Refreshing. But it punishes greed. If you pour yourself too much, the internal siphon will drain the entire contents. Greed is good, more like greed is wet. A portion of all proceeds from the Vsauce Curiosity Box go directly to Alzheimer's research. So this box isn't just good for your brain, it's good for everyone's brain. And we've got a special treat for you.
Because of pressure.
If you subscribe to the Curiosity Box, you can choose a bundle of some of our favorite items from past boxes that we will throw in for free, just pay shipping. If you're not subscribed yet, I'm ready for you, with open arms and open neurons. Wow. Whoa!
Bro.
Who's that guy? Does he look like a Bill, a Mark, a Justin, or a Josh? Pause right now if you'd like to think about it.
Josh. It's a Josh.
According
It's
to
a
research
Josh.
from Vsauce College
it's
and
a Josh.
Miami University, this is Mark. Or at least, this is what we think people named Mark look like.
Nope.
By asking people to make and rate digitally created faces, researchers were able to put together prototypical faces for a number of different names. This is apparently what we think a Josh looks like.
Nope.
A Bill, a Justin, a Dan, a Brian, a Tom, an Andy. The idea that names might conjure certain face shapes.
Hold up.
Tom and Andy.
That's a Dylan. That's a Tyler.
Why they make Bill wide?
That's a Danny.
The idea that names might conjure certain face shapes in our minds isn't that strange. For example, there's Wolfgang Kohler's famous finding that when asked which of these shapes is named Booba and which is named Kiki, people of all different ages,
People are gonna say this is Booba 100% because 100%,
cultures
100%.
and languages overwhelmingly assign Kiki to the spiky one and Booba to the blobby one. And sure enough, it certainly seems to work with names too.
Obvious because of
which one of these men is Tim and which is Bob?
That's Tim and Bob 100%.
Well, almost unanimously people feel like this is Tim and this is Bob. But are these men
I feel like this is Guys, couldn't this be because of a cultural influences like TV shows or whatever, or magazines or comics, whatever the fuck? I think this made me think of Bob and King of the Hill.
This is Tim, and this is Bob. But are these men actually named Tim and Bob? Well, there's the rub. Just because we associate certain names, certain sounds,
the letters,
with certain shapes, doesn't mean we're right. There's no such thing as a biological name. If a person still goes by the same name they were given as a baby, long before anyone knew what they would look like as an adult, well, surely there won't be a connection.
Okay.
As it turns out.
Chat, shut up. What do I look like? What am I? Oh man, this fucking chat is so...
There is. Believe it or not, in a multiple choice setting, people can guess a stranger's name just by looking at their face. More often than we would expect from luck alone. It's called the face name matching effect. Here's a stimulus from Zwebner's research. Do you think this man is named
David, 100%.
Jacob, Dan, Joseph, or Nathaniel?
Jacob, 1,000,000%.
By just randomly picking a name, people should get this right 25% of the time. But Zwebner found that people picked the correct answer, Dan, nearly 40% of
What?
the time.
Not even close.
What's going on?
100%.
Can
Yeah,
names
'cause like a
actually
David,
cause us
double
to
D.
grow to look a certain way?
Well, I'm French,
Well,
so...
apparently they can. It has been called a Dorian Gray effect. In Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, a portrait of the protagonist ages and grotesquely reflects his evil deeds while he himself remains young and pure-looking. In a similar way, it seems that in some cases, our own appearance can come to reflect the name we were given. But I kind of think it's really more of a reverse Dorian
opposite.
Gray.
Yeah, I
book,
agree.
Dorian's reality affects the appearance of his portrait, but the face name matching effect goes the other way. A inanimate sign, a name, influences our actual physical appearance.
Oh, say that again?
Sign, a name, matching effect goes the other way. A inanimate sign, a name, influences our actual physical appearance.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's not news that a person's name can lead others to have certain expectations.
Bitch best face. Jessica. Sorry for Jessica's out there. I know some of you guys are really hot. Big titties and shit like that. Bitch best face. Jessica. Jennifer. Oh my god, please.
Of them and treat them accordingly.
Don't try
It's been
it.
found,
You
for
don't try it.
example, that multiracial faces given European names are rated as looking more European than the same faces are when presented with non-European names. The expectations a name carries with it may create a self-fulfilling prophecy, whereby as a person grows up, they're motivated to fulfill those expectations, carry themselves in ways people think someone with their name should, and even like, dislike, accentuate, hide, use, and avoid different parts of their face and body depending on whether...
Whoa! I told you guys when I started streaming like 5 years ago. I said your face is you. It's why people, I don't trust people with a dumb face. Because their face is them.
whether or not those parts match their name.
Dude.
It's been found that faces and names that match are emotionally liked more than faces and names that don't. Analysis of voting data has shown that senatorial candidates earn 10% more votes when their names fit their faces very well.
Make a face that you're thinking right now. You're thinking. Right? What about somebody who never thinks? They don't think that their muscles over here aren't like being used a lot, and then their face doesn't rest in a certain way. So whenever they don't think a lot, or they're not very. What is this? Right? They don't do that. They go like this.
Than when they fit very poorly. Now, with that in mind, part of the effect could literally come from the fact that although parents don't know what their kid will look like as an adult, the parents do know what they look like, and without knowing it, tend to prefer names that match their faces. which are likely to resemble their child's face as well. But not always. If the dissonance is too great, a person can always change their name, either completely or by simply choosing a nickname. If I had been just a little bit different, Michael, could have always gone by Mike. The fact that people can adjust their names to fit them, of course, merely strengthens the face name matching effect. By studying whether the correct name could be guessed when different parts of a face were occluded, researchers were able to develop heat maps showing which parts of the face different names are most characteristically associated with. Apparently, looking like an Anne is all about the tip of the nose.
Yeah!
It's the bridge of the nose for Arthurs, and the philtrum, or snot trough, for Benjamins. Aurélies are recognized by their face spiders. Let's go back to old people. How old is an old person? 73.7. That's according to results published in the Journal of American Geriatrics last
60.
year. It's the average age people gave when asked, when does
No, I don't
old
say
age
60 is old,
begin?
bro.
People under 65 on average said 71, and people over 65 on average said 77.
Wait.
Women
Okay, so sorry for the video. Just imagine another video I watched. Okay, it's about the law of the big numbers or whatever the fuck. I don't know what it's called. Okay, they take a bowl and if they jam back a bunch of marbles in it, a bunch of gums, and they ask people how many gums are in this bullshit, right? And so people go crazy, like 1,000, and some dumb fucks say like 20 or some shit, right? And the law of the numbers stack the motherfuckers up, and everybody's dumbness up, down, and middle actually gets the number to almost a fraction, a decimal of what the actual number is. That's crazy.
said old age began 3 years later than men did. White people said it began 8 years later than non-whites did, and people who felt healthy placed old age later in life than those who felt less healthy. But how old do people want to be? Well, that depends on how old they already are. In America, the only people who are the age they would like to be are 21-year-olds.
No!
People younger than 21 wish they were older, and people older than 21 wish they were younger. People who are 40 wish they were 30.
Aware.
People who are 60 wish they were 40, and people who are 90 wish they were 60.
Fuck, I'm
When
22.
people are asked if they could be
Gotta go
one
back
age
here.
forever, the average American picks 36, which is actually how old I am right now, funny enough. Here's something else that's funny. Old people are more likely to think they dream in black and white. Not because it's part of the aging process, but because they are veterans of the great black and white dream epidemic of the 20th century.
We gotta stop watching the videos that
Prior
make
to
me
the
aware. We gotta stop.
1900s,
This make me fucking
Aristotle, Descartes, Freud,
rhyme?
everyone who wrote about the topic reported that dreams contained color. But as humanity moved into the 20th century, the number of people reporting color in their dreams dropped, just as quickly as the popularity of new black and white movies and TV rose. By the 60s, as color TV and movies became more and more common, reports of colored dreams started going back up. And today, people who grew up with black and white TV continue to report more black and white dreams than those who didn't. And later studies across China found the same thing. The frequency of black and white dreaming correlated strongly with how common black and white TV was in a person's area. So, did black and white movies and TV literally change our dreams? Well, first
Isn't it hard to pinpoint where it comes from, though? It's subconscious shit, no?
of all, it's not clear whether dreams themselves actually changed or if people just started thinking differently about their dreams. We're trying, but we still haven't found a way to get direct access to dream content. Eric Switchable has pointed out that as far as we know, dreams may not be in color or black and white, or sepia or anything. They may be primarily indeterminate in color as they happen, and only later, during recall, do we confabulate details about color. He compares dreaming to
Way
reading.
too fucking dang.
Is a novel in color or black and white? As you read
What?
a story,
Sorry, chat. Say that one more time. I wasn't.
confabulate details about color, and only later, during recall, do we confabulate details about color. He compares dreaming to reading. Is a novel in color or black and white? As you read a story, what do you see in your mind? It might be the case that dreams,
It's as good as your
vaporous
imagination.
as they are something we simply have a terrible grip on, and that movies and TV shows have given us the illusion of understanding them. In fact, Switchable has speculated that smells and touch sensations are rare in dreams today, but future people with smelly, touchy-feely VR shows might think that they dream with lots of textures and odors and find it strange, maybe even frightening, that few of us seem to. But why would we think that dreams...
I feel like most of the touch you're getting or the sensation is gravity, right? The only thing that you're gonna feel is going forward. You know when you're running, you're always at a forward angle and you have no grip on the ground when you're running in the dreams. It feels like almost like you're falling as you're running forward. Whenever I'm running in my dreams, I'm always angled forward, going like that, and I have no grip and I'm just buttering in.
We're like moving pictures and not normal
But I
waking
feel the
life.
gravity.
Well, no one knows. It might be that motion pictures are just simply the closest thing we have to dreaming that isn't dreaming. Unlike still images, paintings, photographs, tapestries, motion pictures and dreams can contain movement and narrative and cause and effect. And unlike stage plays or real life, motion pictures and dreams are not made of anything that is even remotely similar to what they depict. They're both made of phantoms. Images are uncanny things. A person in an image is frozen in time, but yet can seem to grow old. Our own image can depend on what we are called, and they're the closest thing we have to what our mind does when we're away. Do you get the picture? Or does the picture get you? And as always, thanks for watching.
Dude, you know, I wish you did it right there. I said it, right here, what, like this.
Or does the picture get you? And as always,
And then he takes one of his first videos where he says thanks for watching, and he puts it, boom, thanks for watching with his old self
thanks for
from
watching.
like years back. No?
That was a good ass video.
Yeah, I'll do it myself because chat is not creative and think my videos are cringe. Okay, fuck it then. Okay, I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't bother doing this shit if chat decided that was cringe. You know what? Fuck you. You know what? I'm actually gonna do it, man. I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing it.